Hey, welcome back to a whole nother episode of On the Porch. Guys, they're trying to get in my tea, in my business, and we can't allow that to happen.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Hey, it's your boy _BJ Real, man. We back here with another episode of On the Porch. We're here today with another special guest.
We're here with another special guest, guys. You already know this is somebody that I watch on another podcast that I'm actually a fan of. And hey, we got Aram, right?
Yeah. So Vonza is a all-in-one software for anyone to run a business online and make money online. Mm-hmm. Every business that I've started was because of a personal pain that I had. Right? I've never been the one to just do something because it was popular or because everybody or some guru said do it. Every business has been because of a pain I have. Such a pleasure to be here though, just having fun on the couch, on the porch,
Yeah.
Our community have really helped us. We get a lot of people too that be like, I'm supporting you guys because you're black owned. Right, I want you guys to win, and I don't want to get a little bit emotional. People that have really just supported us in the culture, and that really helped us to grow. Passion. So now, when you have that knowledge or something to sell, you can turn it into a community, an online course, or an ebook. Right. So now you have that. So now you need a software to help you to run it, market it, distribute it, and take payments. That's where Vonza comes into being. So with Vonza now you can help people and make money at the same time.
Hi, my name is Attorney Andre Smith. I've handled many personal injury cases throughout the state of Georgia and throughout the state of Florida. Oftentimes, when people get in an accident, they do not know what to do. The first thing you should do is call 911. The second thing you should do is call our office. Our Georgia office, we can be reached at 770-615-8853. Our Florida office, we can be reached at 407-758-6130. Hire us, and we'll fight for you.
Why you married? But what really though? I'm just curious, real quick. Like, why though? Why that quick?
Are we really live? I will talk off camera. I don't want her to look at it. I never want to portray her as a negative.
It's not on the podcast.
She's a great person.
This is not on the podcast.
This is on the podcast. We'll
Wow.
talk about it. Hey, welcome back to a whole nother episode of On the Porch. Guys, they're trying to get in my tea, in my business, and we can't allow that to happen. Not to you all. Maybe I'll come out and talk about it later on the Porch Talk, but that'll be later on after everything's done and sealed and we're good to go. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys are doing great. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, go up to the other platforms such as Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever that is. Leave us 5 stars, say something nice, and continue just moving us up those charts because we want to make sure we get this message out to everybody because they need to hear it. Make sure you go ahead and join our community, guys. If you want to go out here and be in a community of like-minded people where we're giving out nothing but straight game, we're having quarterly meetups. You're able to go out here and come to our live podcast events, and you're able to just mingle with the people that are just like you, talk to me and BJ, and then we're going to have our guests. They're going to be coming on to speak to you all, to give you those games at least once a month. So, go ahead and join. It's only like $5.99, something like that. But follow us on Instagram at _on the porch. BJ.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Hey, it's your boy _BJ Real, man. We back here with another episode of On the Porch. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing. We need you guys to keep doing that. Like I said, y'all can follow me at _BJ Real. But most importantly, guys, y'all go subscribe to the page at On the Porch Podcast, guys. We're not hard to find. We're on all platforms. But like I said, guys, we're going guest for guest for guest. We're going bigger and better every time. And we're here today with another special guest.
We're here with another special guest, guys. You already know we had to make sure we had this happen because let me tell y'all, I love to do this, right? Because this is somebody that I watch on another podcast that I'm actually a fan of. And these people seem like they're so unreachable at that point, right? You're like, man, I don't know how I ever talk to them. But now I've been having these people talking to them, and this is one of those guests, right? That I'm just like, it's a pleasure to meet them in person, doing great things and going crazy. Hey, we got Uyi Abraham, right?
Yeah.
He is going crazy, especially in the business space overall, especially with the he has a platform called Vonza, right, where it's like an all-in-one where you could create your funnels, you can create your funnels, you can actually have your course on there. It's just all-in-one, right?
Community, everything.
Community. I gotta hear all this thing because I need this for sure. So go ahead, introduce yourself. Go ahead and explain better about what you do and what you got going on.
Hey guys, so such a pleasure to be here though, I mean, just having fun on the couch, on the porch, and having a good time with this great man, So I'm Uyi Abraham. So before I talk about Vonza, I have a very unique story because I wasn't born and raised in America, right?
Where you from?
From Nigeria.
Okay.
So I came to America years ago with just $100 and a suitcase of clothes.
I don't know how you survived this.
I came in search of the American dream. Initially the goal was to come here to become a medical doctor. But when I came in, I started taking the classes and I just fell out of love with sciences. And then, in Africa, education is very big. It's not like the way it is in America, whereby it's almost optional. So growing up in Nigeria as a kid, you have to either be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or you're a failure.
That's it.
They'll be like, so you're not going to be a doctor, you're not going to be a lawyer, you're not going to be an engineer, you are a failure, son. So I was like, I don't want to be a failure, so I want to be a doctor to please my parents, my grandma, and everybody around me, But that was not truly my calling. So from $100 to a suitcase of clothes, I went through a lot of tough time here in America. And now, we're doing millions of dollars online, thanks be to God. So on Vonza, which was your question. So the reason I started Vonza is that, so I did all kind of businesses all through the years, And then I started teaching online, creating courses and membership program. And then I just saw that it was just so complicated running a business online. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, whereby you have to use multiple software to run your business, right? They usually go with like Kajabi for courses, Teachable for courses, WordPress for website, ClickFunnels for funnels, like you spend like hundreds of dollars a month. I thought that did not make sense. So I wanted to build a very easy to use all-in-one software, so that anyone like me that don't have a team, that is not very techy, can run a business online. So that's how we started Vonza. So Vonza is an all-in-one software for anyone to run a business online and make money online.
So what made you think you could? Because basically, this is tech. It's
tech, yeah.
So you was in school for the science, but I don't think it was tech science at all.
It wasn't tech science.
So it made you say, you know what, this is something that I can do. Like, what gave you the courage to say I can go build a platform?
Great.
And what year was this?
So I started working on it around 2019. Then we launched in 2020 just before COVID hit.
Oh.
But we're not ready, though, to really take advantage of the COVID wave. In COVID, everybody, their mama and their dog wanted to start a business online, right? But we were not fully ready at that time to take advantage of it because we just fully launched beta then. So your question was, how did I get started into tech? What gave me the confidence? I think all my life, I've always just looked at my life. Every business I've started was because of a personal pain that I had, right? I've never been the one to just do something because it was popular or because everybody or some guru said do it. Every business has been because of a pain I have. For example, my pain was the complication of using so many software to run a business online. And I was like, you know what? I need to solve that problem for myself. And then I know there's a problem that millions of other small business owners have. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to solve it for myself and solve it for them. And then I solve that problem for them. I charge them and then they pay me for it. So that's how I've always started the business. So maybe what gave me the confidence to do it, I'll just say my mindset. Because when you grow up in Nigeria and you go through hardship, right?
I was going to ask, how was it living there? Like, how was it?
It was tough because, one, my parents were divorced. I was raised by my grandma. And she was doing okay, by herself, but eventually she started going blind because of diabetes. And every podcast I go, I warn people, especially black people, stay away from sugar. They are killing our people because black people.
As I'm sitting here eating gummy worms.
Yeah, you need to. I was going. Okay, bro. I think you've had enough. Okay,
I gotta eat the whole thing.
You don't think
I gotta eat it.
You've had enough sugar for today. I'm trying to correct him on his own show. All right.
After this, I got you. I'm gonna do better.
I hope I get him back. Okay. Yeah. So, but we need to really be careful about sugar because diabetes affects African Americans in a very disproportionate manner than other cultures. Right? And many times we don't know about it until we start getting older. So my grandma got diabetes, got completely blind, then her income tanked. So things were so bad that growing up in Nigeria, I don't ever recall eating a full boiled yolk of egg to myself.
A boiled
egg. Yeah,
egg.
One egg. Yeah, I never ever remembered. I've asked my brother. I've asked everybody. Said you were right. That never happened.
So you never had one egg
to myself.
One.
One to myself.
Like 3.
Yeah, I never had one to myself. So the way it works is that because my grandma was raising like maybe 10, 12 other kids in the same house. So you boil one boiled egg, and that's the only protein or meat in the food. You split it into 4 places. So the part you get, that's the only meat there. The only time I may have gotten maybe one full egg to myself, maybe Christmas or Easter, because my grandma went to church.
Egg.
Yeah. I will have to pretend I'm sick. Because grandma didn't have a lot of money to take us to the hospital. So when you're sick and she's trying to do everything to make you eat, so I'm like, okay, grandma, I'm sick. I have a fever. I can't eat. I want to go to the hospital. She's like, no, don't go to the hospital. What do you need? I'm like, I just want 2 fried egg and 2 fried egg and 2 slices of bread and tea. And my other cousins, they'll be like, he's pretending he's not sick. I'm like, I'm sick. I'm shivering. So I can eat egg and bread or even oatmeal. Even chicken too. They never gave us. We never had chicken. We never had chicken or meat or beef like that. If they gave us very, very tiny pieces like this, So I grew up with a lot of poverty trauma.
Wow.
What was
Right?
like the go-to meal like in that time?
It's called eba, which is like mashed potato, but yellow mashed potato. That's kind of like what poor people eat in Nigeria. So that was the common thing. And many times you eat it with soup, like fufu, you eat it with soup, but there was really no meat because meats were very expensive growing up, So we had to pretend. I mean, just crazy stuff, go to people's house praying that they would just have mercy on us and invite us to their kitchen to eat. Good meal and stuff, So I grew up with that level of poverty and trauma. I never ever remembered eating ice cream as a child.
Golly.
I never ever remembered going out to eat as a child. You can't even say it. Like going out to eat, like they're just gonna beat you up. They're like, you're a spoiled child. They're just gonna.
I was gonna say we're spoiled. We're spoiled in America.
Because even our struggle stories, it ain't like that.
Because I take my girl, I'm like, she like, I want to go to Red Lobster.
Whoa! All
Red
right.
Lobster.
She know you got money, so she know you're rich.
Yeah. So that's just crazy. We don't know how good we got it until it's taken from us.
And that obviously that's the reason that you're able to put up with the struggle that you was here in America. Like the little hardships, that's nothing.
Yeah, there was a lot of hardship, but growing up in Nigeria really formed my mindset to be able to struggle, deal with pain. Like things people get stressed over like just stress about job, I'm like, you haven't seen stress. Like you haven't seen like going 3 days without food and still working an hour to work, So the tolerance for pain is higher when you grow up in Africa because you get to experience a lot of those difficulty. So that really helped my mindset, but also to coming to America. What also helped my mindset too was investing in coaching. mentorship and books.
So what made you do that? So what were you teaching when you were before you made Vonza? What were you teaching before that? Like what were you coaching, or why were you making the course? What was that?
Yeah, so I did a couple of courses. One, I started doing tax preparation.
Okay.
So I had a tax office, and I saw that it was very lucrative. I could make $100,000 in 90 days.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought, hey, let me show my people how to do the same thing too. So I created an online course to teach people how to start their own tax preparation business. Right. So that was my first main big course, and that's when I knew that the technology was just broken. They didn't like to talk to each other. Got to use multiple tools to build your website, or build your course. And so that's what led me to launching Vonza.
Hold on, I feel like we skipped a couple steps because you said you came to America with $100
and a suitcase.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get in position to even think about starting a company?
That's
like,
true.
When you first came here, like what was like the type of jobs or work or businesses you were doing before you even thought about Vonza and before you even thought about coaching other people? What were like those type of things, just so we could like walk people through.
Yeah, so very good. So my very first job, I was working at movie theater. That was the guy that would tear the ticket for you and sweep after in between movies. So I was making like $6.15 an hour.
Oh, what year was this?
Oh, this was like 2002.
Okay.
2003. Yeah, in 20 something years ago. Yeah. So from there, working at movie theater. Worked at Delta Airlines and just kept doing all the different jobs. My last job was I was a school bus driver. And I was driving the school bus and I was making about $12, $13 an hour. And then we just had our first daughter. That's when I had a light bulb moment. When I did the math was not mathing. I was figuring out there's no way on God's earth that with $12 an hour, I can take care of myself, my children, my wife, my family. And what also inspired me towards entrepreneurship was my wife. Because when I married her, we had nothing, right? When I proposed to her, I had nothing. I was living.
And you proposed? We'll talk about that later on.
Yeah. I proposed to her. I was living in a one-bedroom apartment, $440 a month. I was struggling. I had no bed. I was sleeping on a futon. I had no couch. I had no couch, no sitting room, nothing. I had nothing. And I proposed to her, but she turned me down at first, right? So I went to prayer and fasting. That God would speak to her.
Oh my God.
And stuff like that, But thankfully, our moms came together and supported our wedding. I couldn't afford nothing. I bought my wife's wedding dress from eBay for $50.
What?
And I spent $25 to dry clean it.
You got a real one. You want to know why? Because the fact that she even stayed down for that's not happening these days.
Yeah, if it was this time, you couldn't have done
you
that.
You can't do that. They're going to be like, what? First of all, we not even getting paid. Where you work at?
Yeah. Couldn't afford the wedding ring. The only thing I could afford was my suit I bought for $100 from K&G. And that was it. Our wedding dress was $50 from eBay. Our moms came together and took care of the rest of the bill, But she believed in me and she stuck with me.
Did they throw money on y'all?
Yeah, they do that. In Nigeria.
I just had to make sure. I was like, did you get some money at least?
Yeah, as Nigerians, you have to throw that money on us, So we had nothing. So we started with nothing. But I did promise her. I said, hey, marry me. I know I'm going somewhere. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And I promise you, before you get to 30, I'm going to retire you.
And this was when you were still working.
While I was still working, driving a school bus.
When you were sleeping on the futon. Seen that you was going to be a millionaire.
I thought I was going to be a millionaire.
Did you end up doing that?
I did. And I promised I was going to retire her. Yeah. I promised I was going to retire her at 30, before 30. And I retired her exactly before 30. And that's over 10 years ago, or 10 years plus. My wife, have never had to work a job since that time because she married me when I had nothing. And when I was trying to figure out this entrepreneurship thing, she held down the house financially. She paid the rent. When we got a small house, she paid the mortgage. She paid the notes. She made sure I was fine. She made sure that she encouraged me to pursue my dreams. She never complained one day. She never, when we go out to eat, she said, oh, I want to eat Olive Garden. It was like $20-something for like shrimp and stuff. We can't afford it. She's like, that's fine, babe. Let's just get one plate and we'll split the plate. We'll share one plate of food. And she's beautiful. It's not like she was desperate for her husband, She just wanted she just loved me and she believed in my vision. She believed that we're going to be fine and let's just work hard together. And that's what we did, you know.
Man.
She never compared me to another person.
That's crazy.
She had friends that were having the Louis Vuitton and all these Chanel bags and stuff. She knew I could not afford it. She never asked one day. She never expected it. She never brought up that conversation because she just wanted to just support me, support our vision. So when she was getting to close to 30 and I was still working the school bus, that's when I knew I gotta do something now.
Shout out to wifey. Shout out to wifey because first off, we already know.
Yeah.
Usually, what a woman does as soon as their men stop, they're not doing good. Oh, we talking down on them. They gonna talk down on you.
Yeah.
And they gonna kick you while you down.
Yeah.
And that's just the culture. Oh, you ain't doing nothing. You're not even trying to do nothing, or you need to get your stuff together. You got this much time. But it seemed like she literally was patient with you and understood your vision.
She did, and she worked hard and she held down the house financially because she was the only one that could really have a job, you know. And that's why, I don't know if you follow me on social media, I'm always very hard on this, what they call it, city girls or 21st century TikTok women. Like, what's wrong with building with a man, right? You know,
they
women
they don't believe that. No.
Yeah, they just want a man that already have 6'6", right? Six pack, 6 figure, 6 feet tall. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what's wrong with just finding a good man to build with, right? He doesn't have to be rich if he can love you, take care of you, and he's working hard on his dreams every day, you know. But this generation of women, I don't know what's going on, whereby they just want a man that's already made and just give everything to
And you know what's crazy? They don't even deserve it. They literally do.
None of the qualities, none of the traits.
And I'm not being misogynist or anything, but I'm like, they not.
Yeah,
you're not cooking, you're not cleaning, not doing nothing.
What you bringing to the table? What you adding to him?
Nothing.
Right? Why should he deserve a Chanel bag? Why?
Because I look good and I got a BBL.
Okay.
Exactly. My point.
What else?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Because eventually, you know, all that looks and stuff, they just wear off. That don't even matter at some point because when you are going through a time where you're trying to build, I don't care about how you look and stuff.
Yeah, because it sound like your wife, she knew how to manage finances. She knew how to like know what the priorities were. We need the rent paid. We need this paid first before we even go out to eat, before we even buy the Chanel bag or do any of this. But what I want to know is like, what was the turning point for you when it just like kicked off like for your like business career, your aspirations?
Yeah, so I mean, I've done many businesses over the years, but I would say the real first big financial break started around 2010 when we launched a Christian university.
Oh.
Yeah, because we also own a Christian university. People can get bachelor's, master's, doctorate degrees, but around Christian theological kind
I heard about that. I think I seen something about that when I was researching.
Yeah. So we also have that. That's when the turning point started financially for us, honestly. You know, and again, to every business I've started will become a personal pain. My wife was the reason I started it. She, you know, did a master's degree from University of Phoenix, got us in about $54,000 in student loan debt, and she couldn't find a job that would pay her more than, I don't know, maybe $12 an hour.
It's crazy.
And I was like, this is crazy. Like, why go to school and can't find a job that will pay you well? And I knew then that she was not alone. There are a lot of people, especially Christians, that want a degree to their name. They want it fast. They want it affordable. And they don't want to go spend 4 years in traditional school that is failing them. And they don't want to own $54,000 in loan. So that problem we had, we provided solution by starting an accredited Christian university. So that was where we made our first 6 figures.
I would say that 50,000 turning it's about 200,000 nowadays.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was saying about the university, and I was just I was actually looking up other shows with you on it, and I seen Pocket Watch with JT said something about that. You had a whole conversation about it. Let's talk about that because that's something that's going on today, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are starting to call people just like scams and everything. Like how did that feel, or how do you overcome that, or how do you keep that from happening?
Yeah. So the thing is that a lot of people are kind of there are two type of people though. There are one set that are just ignorant about how the education system works in America.
Right.
Those are the people I was hoping that when I go to JT's show, I'll be able to address and shed light on. But then there's the other group that are just biased, right?
Yeah.
Because they feel like if I went to school for 6 years to get a PhD, how dare you give another person a PhD in 1 year? So you must be doing a scam or doing something.
Yeah,
wrong.
how do you do that? I didn't even know that. So how do you? I'm gonna let you explain it.
Yeah.
How do you? I just want to ask the question. How do
Because-
you give it to them?
Okay, there are two main issues they have. One about accreditation. What most people don't understand is that the U.S. government of the Department of Education do not regulate schools in America. Accreditation in America is strictly a third-party thing, but the U.S. government only recognizes 6 accreditation bodies, right? And they call them regional accreditation bodies, like the big schools, University of Georgia,
Right.
Florida, A&M, all of that stuff. They usually get accredited by this body.
Right.
But when you are offering a religious, because there's always this separation between state and church, you know? When you offer a Christian-based degree, you are now required to have accreditation by those bodies. So you can have a Christian-based accreditation that also allows you to offer similar degrees.
Right.
But the only thing with outside of accreditation is that every degree have to have a religious modifier in the name.
Everyone. It can't
Everyone.
be like you can Bachelor of
It can't
Science.
be Bachelor of Science in business. It has to be Bachelors of Science in Christian business, or theology, or Christian, like for example, counseling. It can't just be Bachelor of Arts in counseling, but it can be Bachelor of Arts in Christian counseling. So the government says totally fine. But a lot of people do not understand this. They feel like you're scamming people, you're trying to... So they get mad, right? Then, of course, JT is an entertainer. JT is doing stuff for his audience. He understands his audience. He tries to bash people. He doesn't care about the truth. So I was hoping that we can have a dialogue, intentional dialogue to say, hey, JT, here's the facts. Yes, where the law. Yes, what the government says. Yes, why it's legal. Yes, why nobody's going to jail for this thing, right? But his agenda was to try to discredit me instead of having a conversation. Right? No, you can't give honorary. Every school can give honorary.
Yeah. So it's so basically what you guys do. 'Cause I was just trying to figure out. Okay, so you are like able to give honorary doctorate. I know honorary doctorate. That's when I first seen it. I remember talking to BJ. I was like, well, people get honorary doctorate all the time. Like before you even, I knew that already.
Oprah, Trump, Didi, everybody has.
Everybody. So so you pretty much just doing that on. You just doing that like on scale, like to the point, not scale, but like they're coming to school. You actually learn stuff. Like you're going to learn for real.
Yeah. So our university, we only have about 5 to 10 slots every year to honor people who are really doing dope things in the culture. These are usually 6, 7, 8 figure earners in the culture. They are employing people. They are helping the community. They are bringing financial literacy, credit, whatever niche they are in. So our university, we are really pro African American culture. So we find like really dope people, just 5 to 10 every year, and we honor them with an honorary doctorate degree for their work in the culture or impact or whatever the case is. And there's nothing illegal or unethical about it. You can give anybody an award, but just that because we're a university, we can give them an award which is honorary. But there's 99.99% of students who go through the academic route of the school, and they get more success than people goes to these fancy schools that people like,
Right.
So again, there are two divide, right? There's the section that are just ignorant of it. And so they feel like you shouldn't give people degrees if you don't have this type of accreditation. But you're not the one to determine that. The government says you don't have to have an accreditation in America. You don't. It's strictly voluntary. For example, me, you, him, right? Shout out to my guy behind the camera, right? We all can form an accreditation body right now. What accreditation is an attestation of the quality of standard of a school.
Right.
So we can say we're going to form our accreditation, and we're going to make sure that any school that gets our accreditation, that they have certain level of standards that we believe the school should have. And the government say, okay, that's fine. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So people don't understand that. Then there are those two again too. They feel biased. They tell me all the time, well, are you gonna give somebody that don't have a GED, a doctorate degree, and I went to school, I put in the hard work, I had spent 7 years to get my PhD. I'm sorry you went to waste 7 years of your life to get a PhD and you have nothing to show for it. You know, these people, they are making great impact. It's like Oprah. What are you going to teach Oprah in business school? She's a billionaire.
Yeah.
She's done the work, right? The classroom is not the only place that a person have to show their intelligence or their expertise, right?
Yep.
And it's only about 10 people a year. But we just happen to be that we've connected most of the big names in the industry. So everybody mad from this name to that name to that name. Our alumni, this is something we're very proud of. Our alumni, over 7,000 since 2010, collectively, bro, have generated over $5 billion.
Your alumni?
Our alumni, collectively.
Just from the stuff that they're
Because
doing?
in their businesses, many of them, they do 100 million a year, 5 million, 10 million, that million, and they employ thousands of people. So we've really attracted really successful people. Do you know why? Because many of them, they're already millionaires, but they skip school. So if they want to go back to finish their college or degree in a traditional school, it's going to take them 4 years. But they got no time to do that. They got businesses to run. So they find out school you can finish in 1 year. It's a no-brainer. As I get a degree to my name, I'm not trying to get a job with it. They're not trying to get a job with it. They're already successful, right? So
yeah. So really, at this point, I mean, I guess it's kind of like one of those things they say it's just all about where you get your degree from, because you get a degree from a community college or you get it from a university. But when you go to a job of some sort and you show, hey, I went to Georgia or I went to Clayton State, of course, the Georgia just way more. So it's kind of just like based off of reputation of how big the name is.
Yeah, that
and accreditation is what the
that does happen. Now, the kind of students who come to our school, they're usually those who want a second chance at education. They are not typically those that want to start and transfer to another school or those who want to get a degree for a job. Because we very clearly tell them there's a 99% chance that if you try to go to a traditional state school, they're not going to accept credits from our school.
Well, as long as
but they know that.
Yeah,
And
if you're being honest, then
of course, and they're not trying to find a job. Most of the people that come to our school, they're entrepreneurs. They are really, high quality men and women. They just want a degree to their name. They want the knowledge and a degree to their name, and we just help make their dream happen. Sadly, I don't think JT really is just an entertainer. Because like if you're really somebody that cares about the truth, you bring to that person, you have a dialogue, a conversation. Not try to bring a got you, try to discredit them. That's like,
you said the people that are like basically coming to your school, they're like in a certain extent, they're already established in the business they're doing.
Most of them, but we also have people too who come to our school, they get degrees from our school and they have no problem getting jobs with it. Because again, I'm an employer myself, right? I am not an employer that is impressed by what school you went to, right? You can tell me you have a PhD from Harvard or Yale, and then and you have, in film production, put in front of a camera, you can't turn it on. Your degree don't mean nothing to you. Right? So many of our students, they get jobs with our degree from our school, because they also have the experience. They get promotions after they get degrees from our school because the employers, you're good at your job, you got a degree to it. Win-win for everybody. They don't care about that, right? But again, we don't provide degrees like nursing, medicine.
But I would say I wouldn't say that's somewhere you go when you're starting out, like to just go to school.
Exactly.
Like if it's somewhere I'm like I want to go get a 4-year degree, like that's not the place for me.
No. It's not the average age in our school is about 40 to 65.
Oh, yeah. So
it's not for the 17 or 18-year-olds. No, it's usually people in their 30s minimum.
It's almost like people coming there to just do it kind of for like a hobby type thing, almost. Not like a hobby, but just the advancement on their knowledge already.
most of the people come to our school, they just want a second chance at education. They usually did not finish school, or they finish their bachelor's, they got their master's somewhere, and they don't have the time or the patience to go to a 6-year program, and they just come to ours because they can still get quality knowledge in 1 year.
Okay.
Okay.
You said when you started the university, it basically was a breakthrough for like you and your family. So what did that kind of look like going through the process of starting, like how your lifestyle looked before and how they look after like starting that? Because I'm guessing it's very successful.
Yeah, this school is definitely successful. I mean, 14 years now. I mean, it's done 7 figures. But what I'm most proud of is students that have gotten a second chance. Like, if you come to one of our, I'll invite you to our next commencement just so you can come see on, March 9th here in Atlanta. If you come and feel the emotion in the room, the lives that have been changed by our university, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know, who's to tell people what they need? Like, they need to go to Yale or Harvard to make them feel worthy? No. People should decide what they want to do, right? So that's what I'm most proud of. But the knowledge of that have also helped me to build Vonza today. But that's how we got the first, big break financially from the school. But then we also have done multiple businesses. I used to have a restaurant. I have a tax office.
Right.
I had a car dealership at one point. I was just
Trying to figure it out.
multiple trying to figure it out. Most of them failed.
Yeah, that's real. That's real, though.
But then I found out online was the way. And for Vonza, when I started Vonza, I didn't even have the money for it.
Yeah, how did you do that? How much does it usually? How much does it cost to start something up like that?
We've already put in over $2 million into Vonza.
$2 million?
Yeah, software is very expensive. That's why a lot of people don't do it.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, we're already
So
putting
$2
over.
million, what is all that going towards?
Mostly salary of engineers. Right. Most of our engineers for Vonza, they are overseas. So we get to save a lot, but it's still expensive. Right. Wow. Salaries is the most expensive one. Software to run Vonza, marketing for Vonza. Like in 2023, probably spent like $300,000 minimally just on marketing for Vonza as well. So yeah, it's really been expensive. But when I started, I didn't have the money for it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, so I didn't have the money. So for me, God have never given me money in full to start anything. My life, I always just think of what's the first step. If I can figure out the first step, then I just have confidence that at the time I get from 0 to 1, I'll know what to do from 1 to 2. So I've never been one that just kind of have that analysis paralysis like people do.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's watching right now. Maybe that's a good tip for you, Don't try to figure out everything before you get started. If you want to start a podcast, what camera should I get? What light should I get? Just what's the first thing I need to know? The first thing was I need to get an engineer on the team. So I went online, I got an engineer from overseas, and then started working when we started building Vonza because I'm not a technical founder. I don't know how to code or anything like that. I just the visionary. And then he started working on Vonza. Then he was the one that recruited the rest of the engineering team. And then I recruited the marketing, sales, customer support, and all of that stuff. So we have about 50 to 52 team members, employees all over the world in at least 4 continents, and we have about $15,000 customers now on Vonza, and I'm glad to say mostly African Americans.
Wow.
Because what people don't also know too, there's a lot of racism in tech as well. Many people, white people, they come to Vonza, they see that the founder is black and is African, they don't use it. But our people, they use it.
Right.
So, black tech is black?
Yeah.
Cyrus, he's also one of, I'm very proud of him using Vonza. So we have a lot of influencers now that are using Vonza for their courses, their community and stuff like that, And recently too, we just turned down an offer, a very serious offer to sell, that was around December, to sell Vonza for $100 million.
What?
Yeah. So our last valuation was that $30 million. Then we got an offer for $100 million, but we turned it down because our closest competitor, Kajabi, right, in 2021, they sold 50% for $2 billion.
Only half
For $2 billion.
for 2 billion.
Yeah, so why should we sell for 100 million? So I feel like in the next 5 to 8 years, we can take it to $1 billion. So we can sell. So that's the goal.
And can you thoroughly go through like what is Vonza and the services you provide? Like, can you just be transparent and like let us know?
Yeah, yeah. So pretty much Vonza is a software for creators. So anybody who has anything to create and sell online can do that on Vonza. Whether you're selling a course, a membership, a digital product, physical product, community, or whatever. So what Vonza does, the magic of Vonza is this. We really have made it so simple that anyone can create and make money online.
Right.
How do we do that? We give them all the tools they need in one place. So you don't need to be clicking all these different software to run your business online. So we give you a tool for your website. You can build your website on Vonza. You can do your emails on Vonza. You can build your community and membership on Vonza, your course on Vonza, SMS, funnels, right? Scheduling for Vonza. Like you sent me a scheduling thing. I don't know what.
Right. I was sending Google Calendar.
Bro, you should. That's old school. Coming
Right.
to the new, bro. We gotta
He trying to sell me.
Yeah, coming to the news, bro. And also to
That's
support
fine.
the culture too, right?
That's facts. That's
Yeah,
facts.
this is for us, right? This is ours, you know.
Right.
You know, so yeah, so Vonza does scheduling too, like Calendly and Google Calendar, whatever. So it's an all-in-one software, and it's so affordable. So imagine giving people 12 tools that they should be paying separately for only $99 for our low plan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we have 3 plans, 99 for the basic one. Then we also have a 199, and the highest one is 499.
That's crazy because really, if you doing all this stuff on different stuff, if you'll be paying 99 for each one, and that'd be 6-7 softwares.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I got a question because it is technology and it is like a software, of course, in the digital space. So, like, you know how always, if you have a phone or something, you'll see your app needs to be updated and stuff. So, how do you, with a tech company, how do you like stay with the times and like just keep developing your software and like keep updating it so
That's
it's
a lot.
conforming to
Yeah.
like today's like
Yeah.
standard?
Yeah, so that's why we have engineers on the team. That is pretty much their job. Our team works so hard on improving the software. Like every Friday, we usually release some new features every single Friday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, every single Friday. It has to be something released every single Friday. So we are in touch with everything. I mean, right now we're working on AI now in our software. We're adding AI to our software,
gotta add
and
that.
we're adding multi-currency because currently we're using Stripe for payments. So if you are living outside of countries that don't support Stripe, then you really can't use Vonza. So now we're making Vonza open to the rest of the world so that they can use other payment processors other than Stripe. So that's some big stuff that we do. Yeah, but if you know me and the way my brain works, right, I'm one that never settles, right? I could have been settling with making $100K a year. I always want the best. I always strive for the best. I always keep making things better. So Vonza is a top tier tech. It's better than anything out there. We have people switching all the time from Kajabi, from Teachable, ClickFunnels to Vonza, and they say it's better. Why not?
What was the biggest challenge while building this?
Money.
So I got a question. So why I guess was it hard? Why did you just think go get funding? If you say it's so funding, why you just go get funding?
Good question, because the people control the
OPM
funding.
guys, and then they say that. They say that all the time.
So 2 things. People control the funding. They're usually white boys in California and Silicon Valley. If you check the
That's for tech,
statistics, right, for venture capitals, right, less than 1% of black founders get funded.
Wow, less than 1%.
Yeah, so you already know why that would be.
Yeah.
Less than 1% of black founders. You can Google it right now. Less than 1% of, sometimes usually 0.5 to 2%, but somewhere around there of black founders get funded by Silicon Valley for whatever reason, right? Then I try to go, so we couldn't get funding. Then I try to go through our black, entrepreneurs that got money, but then sometimes they don't want to give you money for 2 reasons. One, they know if it blows up, it's going to be $1 billion company and you're going to be better than them, so they don't want to support you. One, then there's another part of that group too that don't understand tech. Because when you fund tech, it takes about 5 to 10 years before you really make your money back.
Right.
But many black entrepreneurs, they want to make money right now. That's why we open barber shops. Yeah. That's why we open salon. That's why we open lawnmower company. We want to make money every day. But many white people, they don't care about making money right now. They want to make money 10 years from now and be so wealthy.
So you make money. So they pretty much they'll make money like on the exit.
On the exit, yeah, which usually is about average 8 to 10 years.
Right.
But many times they don't want to. They feel like their money is going to be locked in for 8 to 10 years. They want their money to work for them right now. But that's why we don't have a lot of black billionaires, because we always want to make money right now. We're not thinking about making money for tomorrow.
So you said Vonza is probably like the best software.
The best, absolutely.
Best software out there. But it sounds like other cultures and stuff, they have access to more money, more funding, which usually means a better software.
Yeah.
So how did you take what you had to work with and make it into the best software out there?
I don't think they have the best software, because I don't feel like intelligence is not a function of color. Right? Like, God don't make the white person smarter than the black person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, because that person founder is white doesn't mean they're better or smarter. So that does not even add up in my word. So what money does for them, it helps them to do marketing. And marketing makes a big difference. So they can grow fast. There's a new cart that just launched. They're already doing like $40 million a year in 3 years now. We had customers, we had money, we couldn't get no funding. But this guy, he got $5 million funding.
Wow.
20% to start his software business. I know what he did. He bought all the TikTok influencers.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
And can you imagine when you have like 1,000 people shouting how great your software is?
Yeah, it's over. It's going to happen. Yeah.
So you're saying it's almost like the iPhone, because people like always use this like a couple times. Like they say iPhone isn't the best product, but it's
the best marketed product.
Yeah, like it's the best package. It's the best marketed. Oh, it's simple. You could use this. So it might not necessarily be the best product, but it's the best marketed package. So it's more appealing to the consumer. Yeah,
and it's many times too, we get a lot of people switching from those companies to us because if they see that just hype, there's nothing there, right? But marketing does work because people buy from people they like, know, and trust.
Yeah.
Right? When somebody knows, man, I'm using this thing, it's really working great, I love it, it's a better buying than running ads or whatever the case is, right? So that's been the biggest disadvantage we've had so far. But our community have really helped us. We get a lot of people too that be like, I'm supporting you guys because you're black owned, right? I want you guys to win. And I don't want to get a little bit emotional.
No,
people that have really just supported us in the culture, and that really, really helped us to grow, right? So 15,000 customers now doing millions of dollars a year. But if we had money and funding or more support from our culture, from other people, we could have grown even faster.
Yeah. And I just want you to emphasize it again. Like, who are the type of people that is Vonza built for? Like, who are the type of people that's needed? Like, who is the type of people that is like catering to?
Yeah, so really people like you guys, podcasters, coaches especially, creators, and those who sell like digital products, right? Vonza is just perfect for you. And one of our biggest features is community. Now, the whole world is going to community now.
Man,
right? If you don't have a community right now in 2024, your business is in trouble. It's beyond now just selling courses or digital products or this and that. No, you need to bring people together. In fact, I was going to tell you guys this offline as well, even for your guests as well, build a community for them. Bring them together once a year, twice a year, whatever, because community is where you can deepen relationships, where you can deepen that buy-in, So that's one of our most popular feature, community courses and digital products, So anybody who have a knowledge, they want to sell online, a digital product, an ebook, or they want to build a community, or they need a scheduling tool, Vonza is perfect for you. And you have all of these things seamlessly connected together in one place.
Oh my.
No more going all over the place as well, right? For example, there's a young lady, and she has a community for mom. She lost a job about 3 months ago, and she sent me a message that, hey, I'm going to sign up for Vonza. What are you going to do? So I'm going to sell ebook and run a community. Great. Who's your community for? For single moms. So she run a community on Vonza for single moms. She charges $50 a month for that community. Now she had about 200 and something people who pay her $50 a month. She's already doing like $10K a month already. And that's not talking about her ebooks and upsell and downsells, right? Because people need a community. Even podcasters, they need a community, right?
Yeah.
Course creators need a community. Men need a community. Women need a community. Single dads, single moms, right? So we're going back. The world is going back to the way it was before social media, where everybody had a community, right? So community is a new thing now in 2024 and beyond. So I'm shouting it everywhere. Everyone needs to have a community. It could be free, it could be paid, it doesn't matter. But you need to bring people together that are alike in whatever goals or vision you have.
Does your wife help you in your business at all?
Yeah, she does. Thank God I retired her, but she doesn't have to do a job, but she does help with doing a lot of the, she's one of our product managers on Vonza. Then also too, she gives me a lot of strategic advice and stuff like that. And also help with the kids and everything in between, because we also have multiple businesses too. Yeah, so she does help with
everything, juggling everything.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
So this year will be 20 years.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
20 years. Yeah,
I only could imagine.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating our 20th year this year in Houston. Yeah, so this is our 20th year married, and just been wonderful. Because when you have a woman who is selfless, when you have a woman that she believes that God put her on this earth, wherever she marries, our goal is to help that man's life get better. It's a no-brainer.
But
right?
a lot of people just don't feel that way about it. They just don't feel like they don't feel like their purpose. Because back it's not back in the day.
Like that.
It used to be like that, and they used to feel like,
what?
I feel like my purpose is just to help my man grow.
Like old school.
Yeah, and we grow together. That's how our grandmas were.
Right.
Before.
What changed?
Yeah, TikTok.
I'm asking you.
Instagram. City girls, podcast shows.
Yeah, for sure.
Women come podcast shows talking all crap. Oh, I ain't gonna date a broke man, boy. Sis, you broke.
Yeah,
So
it's like a
who are
broke
you to
girl. She's
tell-
like, my man need to make $300,000 a year.
Okay, how much are you
Fuck.
making, sis?
Nothing.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Why you anyway? I'm very passionate about this though, because I feel like they are brainwashing our women, our sisters, and sadly, most women who talk like that, black women. I haven't seen a white girl talking.
They don't.
crazy
You
like
don't
this.
hear. They
I've
won't
never
do that.
seen a white girl talk crazy like this. Usually, our black sisters and. You are that talking about, you can stop messing up this young women coming. I have a daughter. Please don't train her like that. I want her to marry men she loves and they build together, right? Of course, I want him to do it financially, but that should not be the biggest motivation for her. I want her to make her own money.
And specifically on this topic, I feel like, because I disagree when they say like music like reflects the way society acts and stuff. But when it comes to like relationships and stuff, I feel like it kind of works hand in hand, because you kind of have like a lot of songs coming out that is like they're basically dissing their like
The opposite sex.
yeah, they're basically like saying like forget my like baby father, like all that, like
my baby daddy.
yeah, like stuff like that, and it's just like it's just echoing in their ear and stuff. So it's like females, they're just like hype. They're like, oh, we don't need our baby father. Like we can do this by ourselves and stuff. And it's like, it's just a chant. So it's like, I feel like that's just like toxic in today's like society, that they're like just eating it up and they're actually doing it.
They're doing a disservice to black women. It's terrible, and it's the selfishness, right? Sadly, women used to be more selfless. Now, many women, it's all about them, what I want. You're not making me happy. You're not doing this or you're not doing that for me, man. But It's okay, but what are you doing for him? How you make him happy other than sex, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, something is wrong with this, right? And I hope that it changes, because this Instagram, TikTok generation is just messing up a lot of black women. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I got it. So I know you about to, well, I might as well ask you. You've been married for 20 years. So
20 years,
we need to get some good marriage advice.
Hold on, let's start here.
Oh, let's start somewhere.
So, how did you know your wife was gonna be your wife? Let's start from there.
So, one, I prayed about it. God showed me it was her. But secondly, I saw that she was selfless. And she was kind. And she was loyal. That was it. And my biggest tip for any man that is really serious about marriage, the number one thing to look for in a woman is a woman who is kind. Okay, a woman who is kind, she will support your dream. She will, even when you go crazy, she will not, you know, she's not gonna cut you or anything like that.
Right.
She's gonna support you. So a woman who is kind, right? Then secondly, to a woman who has character, substance, right? A lot of women are quitting on their marriages now over something little, right? Because there's not a lot of staying power like women used to have. So a woman who is kind, a woman who is selfless, and a woman who is loyal. And also to the fourth, a woman who has the fear of God, right?
No,
So if
that's
something-
real. Now that's real.
Yeah, so if my wife wants to act crazy, I know how to get her in check, right? I don't have to yell or anything like that. I'll be like, babe, you know, that's not how you should behave as a Christian. You know, God don't like that. And she can tell me to, babe, why you gonna do that? Like, God don't like that. That's not what the Bible says. I'm like, okay, all right. So we both have the fear of God. All right, I see that I'm tripping a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So
just pretty much having like a moral compass,
Yeah,
having
moral compass, fear of
something
God.
that can guide you, because a lot of people don't, and I feel like that's where the problem really comes in.
Yeah.
Like, it's about all that stuff, but even if they could listen to that music that they want to listen to, they can listen to all that stuff. But if they have some type of moral compass, it won't bother them, because they understand this is. I hear what they're saying, but I always can go back to my roots and understand this is not right.
Yeah. So, like, you know, there have to be something or someone that you both kind of, I don't want to say fear, but
Believe
honor
in.
or respect.
Honor,
Right? So when someone is going hard or doing crazy, you know, there's something to say or somebody to say, okay, that's not what you should do. That's not what you should do. I think that really helped us as well.
Yeah, and you said you and your wife, y'all been married for a while now.
20
correct?
years, yeah.
20 years. So through those 20 years, like, how do you just keep it fresh, keep it, like, bind it together, keep it as one? Like, how do you do that? Because
especially entrepreneurship.
We obviously, like, we have, like, girls that we talk to that we're dating and stuff, but like, we haven't made it to 20 years yet. We probably just been on the world that long, so it's like, how do you keep it alive for that long?
Yeah, good question. So I think the first thing is just that commitment. We made a commitment to be married to each other forever, regardless of what might come across our way. So that does help. Then two, having that fear of God, we believe that God's best for us is to be married together no matter what, you know. Then also two, the third thing is to always be kind to each other. So every single day we try to out-kind each other. Right? So I'm thinking of how I can make her life better today. She's thinking of how she can make my life better today. Right? So when we out-kind each other, right, it just helps the relationship to blossom. So then another way we keep it fresh is just spending time with each other. Last weekend we took a cruise to Bahamas. We try to spend time like once a month, some kind of travel or staycation or whatever the case is, you know. But when you marry somebody you really love and like, I mean, it works. So after you've been married for 20 years, you both kind of feel like friends or brothers and sisters. There's just a deeper relationship now, you know. And just for me especially, a woman who got my back when I had nothing. So now I'm just going to throw her out because
that's facts.
Money, right?
That's big.
It's
now,
hard to do.
For you said, though, for sure.
Some women say men have done that to them though, but I don't know how a man does. I don't know why a man should do that. That's wrong.
Yeah, that is wrong. That definitely is wrong. And I know you said, you know, we could decide to be committed in this marriage no matter what. Whatever comes across, whatever happens. There's no exceptions of what your wife can do to you that'll make you leave.
Correct. And I believe likewise too.
So there's
It's basically saying what
is there, no, I'm just saying, is there anything at all?
I don't foresee anything. I mean, every relationship is rocky. Every relationship will go through situations and circumstances, you know. I mean, I think commitment is people just kind of play with commitment so like it's just a flimsy thing. When you love somebody and you commit to that person, you know, you might get upset, you might live for a day or two, but if that other person is repentant and willing to change, why not? Just like I have children. My child might do something that really hurt me. I'm not going to kick them out. That's my blood. Mm-hmm. When are we going to start seeing our spouse as that's my blood, that's my family, that's me?
Yeah.
Whatever the situation is, you're wrong, you're sorry, we're going to work it out, right? And don't do that again.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the key,
And
I guess, that, being sorry, huh?
Yeah,
be
sorry,
yeah.
But that's something we don't see much these days.
They don't do that.
I come to God like every night and I be like, God, I pray that you repent of my sins. I know I sinned today, but I pray that you forgive me. And it's like sometimes people have a hard time saying that out loud.
Yeah.
But is there like anything that like a wife could do specifically for you to leave, like infidelity, cheating, or not keeping up her end in the house? Like,
no, because I love her.
No. I'm gonna say because he said if she's repentant, like she's saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If she feels bad about it, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
But how many times they got to say sorry before you say, you know what, I'm not dealing with that no more? Because you can't. People do that all the time. People take your kindness for a weakness.
Yeah. Now, if that person just continues to intentionally inflict pain, even if they are repentant, but just keep doing over and over and over and over again, at least 4, 5, 6 times. Maybe that's a different conversation. We've never had that type of situation, right? But also, too, even if that was to happen, right, I'll put myself in her shoes. If I was to be the one that messed up too, and I really love her, would I want her to give me another chance? I think I would, right? So, to me, I don't feel like something people break up over situations that are really workable. That sometimes just requires some humility, repentance, forgiveness from one party, humility from the other party, right? But because a lot of people marry without conviction. When you are convinced that that is your person, that is your wife, that is your husband, is a different level of conviction. You're not going to let that person go. Even if they want to go, you're going to fight for it as much as you can.
What do you mean marry with conviction?
Conviction.
Yeah, a lot of people marry now out of convenience. Oh, I like her, I like him. We vibe together, we cool together, our energies, they merge. We like each other, let's just get married. But the conviction is not deep. But again, we're coming from a place of spiritual foundation to where we believe to that God put us together. And not only that, we like each other and we love each other. And we know we're good for each other. Let me tell you another thing, bro. Just me as an intelligent guy, just looking at how crazy the dating world is right now with women. So you think I want to leave what I have now to go and start dealing with somebody that how the lady said to one time to another person, say, well, if you want to take me on a date, one, I need a Chanel bag and I need you to have a black Uber to pick me up. You think I want to deal with all that mess going on right now?
No.
I got a good one, bro. The dating world is crazy right now.
That's probably another 100,000 a year.
I feel sorry for the men dating right now. I got no time for that. Nope.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm telling you. It's crazy. You know, I just like to hear different perspective on all of it because, you know, you might hear somebody say, hey, this can happen. And some people like, and I was literally just on a podcast yesterday and I got invited on or whatever. And they were literally saying the same thing about the commitment things. Like, I get it, but if you committed to that, commitment is what is commitment? Commitment saying I'm in this no matter what.
Yeah.
But you know,
that's really what it is. But I think we just kind of on both sides, men and women, we just take it like so light. You know, marriage is just like based on convenience.
That's fact. That's fact.
It's so convenient.
I hope y'all been listening. He's been dropping some straight gems. I mean, it seems like we probably been here for a minute.
And I had one more thing I wanted to ask because I know we got off it, but can you just tell us like some testimonies and stuff people had from using Vonza and just tell us how their life has been changed or if it's changed at all from after they got introduced to it.
Yeah, very good question. Yeah. So I mean, we have thousands of customers who are using Vonza for their business. Finesse, I don't know if you guys know him.
Yes.
Finesse, Jonathan Jupiter. He has a community on Vonza for men, and his community to help men to build confidence, seduce, and all of
Yeah, all
that.
that
So
good
We know what he's about.
yeah. So he's doing well on Vonza. He's getting the bag on Vonza. We have like the lady I just spoke about, that the community too for single moms, and we have people who are making $1,000 a month. People are making $100,000 a month. The things that will just make it easy for anyone to make money online by giving them an easy to use software and all the tools they need for their business in one place. Me too. I mean, I'd do 7 figures on Vonza too. Like without Vonza, I would not be making the kind of bag I'm making every day on Vonza. Right.
That's facts.
So there's a lot of people, thousands of them who are using Vonza. And if you are watching right now and you are thinking of what kind of business to do, don't overthink it. Just think about what knowledge you have, what expertise or a pain you've been through. Like this lady, Ashley, that I was talking about earlier, she lost her job trying to create a community for single moms to help them to make money online. She used what she went through, her experience, to help other people. So maybe you've been through alcohol or molestation or whatever. There are a lot of women or men who are going through the same thing. So you are qualified to teach them your knowledge, your expertise, or your passion. So now when you have that knowledge or something to sell, you can turn it into a community, an online course, or an ebook, right? So now you have that. So now you need a software to help you to run it, market it, distribute it, and take payments. That's where Vonza comes into being. And with Vonza, we also have a 14-day free trial. So you don't have to even pay for the first 14 days. So you can try it out, check it out, see if you like it. So with Vonza now, you can help people and make money at the same time.
Man, I need to get on Vonza because we literally been in the middle of building a community right now. First of all, I'm building a podcast community and also building the one for my real estate company where we're building a community. So
definitely,
that's something me and BJ talk about.
Yeah. Community is the way to go right now. I mean, it's better than Patreon. I see a lot of podcasters, they use Patreon, the Patreon take commission, right? Patreon, I think they take 10 or 20% commission from whatever you make. Vonza doesn't take any commission whatsoever. So you can have people support your podcast in the community. They can pay $5 a month, whatever they want to pay, right? Vonza doesn't take a dime from your money. The only thing is just the monthly subscription, $99 a month or $199 if you're on a higher plan. Does it? No commission whatsoever. Every money you make is all yours.
Okay, that's good.
Going
that's
crazy.
Scaling.
All right, so yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. But look, seems like we probably been here for a minute, but we drop these episodes on Tuesday.
Okay.
Beginning of the week, right? So what we like to do is we like to go ahead and give our audience something they can actually go implement this week to become better, right? Whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, or spiritually. So what I need you to do is look into that camera right there. Give us some advice. We call it give us some game that they can go implement this week to become better this week.
Awesome. So I just really need to just listen to one thing, right? God never gave anybody everything, but He gave everybody something. You have a knowledge, a skill, an expertise, or something you've overcome that somebody needs. So this is the week for you to get off the couch and create something that will help somebody. It could be a course, an ebook, a community, or whatever it is, right? So go to Vonza.com, get started, and launch that course, that ebook. You'll be amazed how much money you can make. There are people who are making $1,000 a month, $10,000, $100,000 a month, and that can be you as well. We're really passionate about Black entrepreneurship. We want to empower more African American entrepreneurs, coaches, and creators to achieve financial freedom. So this is your time. This is your week. Do not overthink it, right? The money you need is in the pain you have, right? You've been through something. Somebody else can benefit from what you've been through. So go right now, create that online business and help somebody and change your life.
Let's do it, man. I hope you guys are listening and actually taking notes. Look, We appreciate you coming on, man. You've been going crazy. Where can they find you at on social media?
So Uyi Abraham on all social media.
Might need to spell
first
that
name
for
is-
him.
Yeah, my first name is UYI. So you can find me on all social media. Or if you just go to Vonza.com, you go to the Barros page. You can also connect with me on all my social media there as well.
Oh my goodness, guys, go ahead and follow him. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at _on_the_porch. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, comment fire. Go ahead and comment fire. If you feel like you got some gain from this, if you feel like you got some information from this, in whatever way it is, even if business, life, personal life, religious, whatever it is, leave some fire in the chat and let us know what we can do better. Let us know if you got something from this. And go ahead and go over to the other platforms such as Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever that is. Leave us 5 stars, say something nice, and move us up those charts. You guys can follow me on Instagram at follow us on Instagram _on the porch. Follow me on Instagram _Mr.mindset BJ.
Guys, y'all already know y'all can go follow me at _BJ Real. But most importantly, guys, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast at _on the porch. Like I say all the time, guys, we're not hard to find. We're on all platforms at On the Porch Podcast, guys. But it's been another great episode. We appreciate you for coming out
Thank
here
you
and
for
giving
having
the
me.
guys the game, knowledge, and wisdom to go out here and just turn their idea into multiple figures of income.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
guys, like we say, we'll be back
Next week. And we are out. Peace. Man, thank you, man. Appreciate you coming out and dropping the game.
JT on the track again.
Hey, run that shit up, Chase.